All right, so we're on the start of a new week, and NQ has been obviously rather more choppy than ES. But here's what I'm looking for, kind of going into the week, but mainly today. Um, for the last 3 days, I mean, price action was kind of sideways on the daily chart. It just seems like we're in kind of like a range of where we keep on testing the 630s, trying to break out of the 25 800s, but always fail and then just come right back down to retest the 630s. So, are we going to keep on moving sideways? Are we contracting to make a move higher? Or is this sellers showing us that we can't really get through them up here at the 843, 875 levels on NQ? We don't know. All we can do is read and react. So these are the scenarios I believe that can happen. We could keep on moving sideways until we're ready to break out or down, and I'm expecting for us to find more support at 630s. If we lose the support at 630s and take previous days low, then we can come down to test the 25 481 to 513, which is where the monthly and yearly opens are. And I can expect us to come down to test that level. Um, Now, if we do come down and bounce to 630s, we can rally back up to this daily level here, and we could even, in fact, go all the way up to the weekly open to try to test that out. But we will see how the day pans out. But that's the daily chart. Also, just like looking at the moving averages, I mean, we're not in a consistent nine moving average trend. We're kind of like consolidating between the nine moving averages. We are holding the 50 moving average. So this is kind of like a 50 EMA consolidation, or a 50 EMA box, and we're just kind of like chopping around the 9 and 20 EMA, not really having too clear of a trend. I mean, we can kind of see where buyers are stepping in, but there's not too clear of a trend on the daily chart. And even on the 4-hour chart, again, it's just not clear, not fully clear. We have a base box, which just means that all the EMAs except for the 100 is just being chopped up on the 4-hour. We're chopping through the 9 EMA and 50 EMA and then the 20 EMA. So we're not in such an amazing trend like we're about to see on ES, because I mean we keep on just testing these 630s level. We tested it overnight. We tested it yesterday, Friday, last week on Friday, last week Thursday, and then it's just been a pretty significant bull bear zone for us. Um, Now that as long as we can keep on holding the 630s, we can look to get long down here. But if we lose the 630s, then underneath, I would like to look for shorts as long as we can continue that breakdown. And then on the hourly for the NASDAQ, these are the scenarios to where I expect to play out. We either come back down, retest the 25, 713, 725 hourly zone, which would inevitably, right now, overnight, we did break out of the 1 hour 9 moving average, which could signify that, hey, we may want to start an hourly 9 moving average uptrend. Now, if we want to come back down to retest that and we actually hold this level, this will be kind of like a nice higher low that was set in, and we kind of push higher. If we do not, again, we're kind of range bound on NQ, so we could just come back down, retest 630s, look for some buys down here, take out London's low, and then look for a continuation back to the top of the range. Or if we lose the 630s, then we can obviously see some selling coming in, and then I would look to target monthly and yearly opens down here at 25 479. And we haven't been able to fully break through the 630s. So if we do come back down here and we kind of like start to move lower, I'm not really just going to automatically short because it could be a false breakdown. What I would do is I would wait until we actually like lose this level. Once we lose this level, then I can actually kind of short and kind of like target the levels below. But I don't want to get caught in a false breakdown like we've done here, 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 and also last week on Thursday as well. But we will see. That's NQ. And then if we look at ES is kind of paying a bit of a different story. We are trending much nicer on ES. We are holding actually the 9 moving average, the daily 9 moving average on ES. And so I expect a couple of things to play out here. We have the weekly open above us in the New York session. If we do hold this 9 moving average, then what we can do is we can definitely find some buyers down here or even hold this 69.72 zone and then come back up to test the weekly open and maybe come up to take out previous day's high and also test the 70.26 level that we have here on ES, the daily level. If we fail to hold this 9 moving average uptrend, then what we can see is a further pullback down to test the 20 EMA cloud. And we can come down to test that 69.17 level on ES, the daily level. And if we can hold that, I mean, we could see some leakage down to test the monthly and yearly open down here where the previous week's low is as well, down to the 6900s. And obviously, if we lose that, then we come back down to 68, 63, and that's from a daily perspective. Um, Obviously, this entire move, these moves don't have to happen all within a day. Okay, take 2 days. Again, it's the daily chart. But let's look at the 4 hour. And the 4 hour again, like we're not in a 9 moving average uptrend. The really nice things is when all the time frames are kind of like aligned. We're in a 9 moving average uptrend on the daily, on the 4 hour, on the hourly, and that's kind of like a more solidified markets where you're just like, okay, you just like really buy pullbacks. But for this one, I mean, we're still in a kind of like a nice uptrend. We're holding the 50 EMA quite nicely. But again, you want to be careful as to where you get in, just because again, you could be getting in too early and get stopped out if you're not paying attention to the levels that you're getting in off of. But here, if we can break out of the 9 moving average, we're gonna kind of catch some upside momentum pretty nicely here. Um, but it's kind of just like sideways to higher right now in this market, and then like a strong pullback. So let's see if right now in ES that's kind of what we want to keep on doing. Let's see if we can come back down to retest. But again, this is just the same levels. If we find acceptance up here at the 69.72, I can see us testing the weekly open and also the 70.26 levels. If we just reject here and continue to fall down, then again, we can come back down to the 69.17, maybe even lower. But right now, we're kind of like we're prices kind of like kind of tight. We're a bit tight, at least on NQ, but on ES we're not as tight, but still, I definitely think that we may see some type of move here in the next upcoming days if we continue to just kind of like continue this like grinding price action. And then looking at the hourly, here are these some of the scenarios that I expect to kind of like play out on ES. Is that I definitely expect right now we are just like NQ. We're on the 1 hour time frame for the 9 moving average. We're breaking out, potentially starting a new 9 moving average uptrend. But here's the caveat. I mean, we have the 50 EMA and the 20 EMA above us. We're also at the 69, 68 zone, so we can reject here. We can very much reject here and then move lower. Now, the thing is that I would ideally like to see the London low be held, or sweep it a little bit and then buyers step in somewhere around this area, then that'll be pretty nice. And then that'll be a good spot and a good trade location to look for longs. Because if you look at the daily or sorry, the 4 hour, I mean, this is like the 50 EMA, and then down here would also be the 9 daily EMA. So if we can hold this area down here, then that'd be great. To look for some longs. If we lose the 69.43 level, then I mean that's just, hey, I mean that's our bull bear zone, and we broke that, and we can expect some more downside momentum as long as it's not a false breakdown. But those are my theses for NQ and ES. Last night, Sunday overnight, I did take a trade, going long. I tried to take a reversal, but obviously it didn't work out, which is totally fine. Um, Losses are accounted for in our risk management strategy. Uh, I just took a 1 hour loss last night, but I know that I can catch a 5 hour trade today or anything. So that makes up for that a loss. And just analyzing this loss, maybe it wasn't the best reversal setup just because again, where is our lower high of the 9 moving average? We don't have one on the 5 minute, nor do we have one on the on the 2-minute as well. Kind of just got in off the reversal, but um, I still like the attempt. The strong signal here was having divergence between the assets at the time. Where's the divergence? The RSI divergence. So yeah, right here we clearly have an RSI divergence on the 5-minute, and then we can see here again that's like RSI divergence. So that's kind of like that was my signal of getting in. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe we also had it on NQ too. Yeah, we had it on NQ too. It's where we had divergence as well. Sorry, on the 15-minute chart. So that was mainly my signal. But again, we tried it. It didn't work, and that's totally fine. We're going to see how today plans out and how the rest of the week plans out. Are we going to continue just moving sideways, holding these 63 levels, or are we actually going to want to break out and make all-time highs on NQ? Because ES has already made it. So we will see.